Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be diving into the best family surf destinations in the world. So what actually makes a family surf destination? Now, obviously you want really fun waves and you want those waves to be accessible. You know, you don't want to have to drive 2 hours to go and get waves. That's just annoying, and you don't want to be spending heaps of time getting on boats and gallivanting off chasing waves. You want to be able to stay really close to the waves, you know, have a hotel right on the beach, nip out for a quick morning session or afternoon session, then head back and spend all that time with the family. So the next point is you want somewhere that's easy to get to. You know, you don't want to get like 3 different flights and then have to drive for hours to reach some like far-flung destination. Like when you're traveling with family, especially if you're traveling with kids, you just want somewhere easy, like whether that be 1 flight, 2 flights, and then be able to get picked up, taken to the hotel and not have like this whole ordeal. I mean, depending on where you go, that's not always possible because some of the best surf destinations are a long way depending on where you live. But in this video, I've tried to explain places that are, I guess, pretty accessible. Next up is you want to have variety in the places that you want to stay. No matter what your budget, the places we'll discuss today kind of have a lot of different accommodation options, whether it be like villas, nice hotels, and you want somewhere that you could retreat back to out of the sun, go and relax, have like a nice space to hang out in between surfing and between activities. When the kids want to have a nap, you can take them back to like a nice, clean, air-conditioned room. You don't want to stay somewhere shit. So all of these places kind of have plenty of different options for that. Next up is you want other cool things to do. You know, you don't want to just spend your whole time surfing on the beach. I mean, well, you might, but it's cool to be able to, you know, check out some nature, some wildlife, do a little bit of hiking, you know, a bit of sightseeing, have like fun things for the kids to do as well. And the last point is safety. Some of the best surf destinations in the world are in locations that are not necessarily safe and have a pretty bad reputation and high crime rates, but the following places are all places that are pretty safe, low crime rates, and are family friendly. So without further ado, let's start diving into the destination. First up, we've got Costa Rica. Now, Costa Rica is an amazing surf destination. It's been drawing people for decades. It's also one of the safest countries in Central America. It's got amazing beaches, amazing wildlife, loads of cool stuff to do, and while it's definitely not one of the world's cheapest surf destinations, as a family-friendly surf venture, there's nowhere better. For the most part, you've got fun beach break waves in all of the major surf towns, and a lot of the time, all the accommodations and hotels are right there on the beach, which means you can stay really close to the waves, walk across the road, get a morning surf in, and then come back, hang out at the hotel or hang out on the beach with the family. Check out places like Santa Teresa, Jaco and Playa Hermosa, Dominical, Tamarindo. All these places on the west coast of Costa Rica are amazing family-friendly surf destinations. It's just an amazing place to get waves with as little stress as possible. It's tropical, it's safe, and there's loads of other cool stuff to do. You know, you can head inland, check out waterfalls. They've got amazing nature, wildlife there. There's volcanoes. Wicked place to stay. Next up, we've got New Zealand. Unless you live in Australia, New Zealand is pretty far from basically everywhere else in the world. But if you can make it through that flight with the family and arrive in New Zealand, it's just one of the best, like most family-friendly places on earth. It's a really like outdoors sort of place, especially if you go in summer. Amazing scenery, amazing like nature, wildlife, amazing beaches, and it's just kind of made for that like outdoor like beach lifestyle. So I think the best way to enjoy it is, if there's a few of you in your posse, then you want to get a camper. That's probably the best way to enjoy it. And New Zealand's just so well set up for that outdoor living. They've got like campsites everywhere, free camping areas, like parks. A lot of like the beaches in the main surf town have like a surf spot and then like a campsite and like a park. So it's just like a really outdoors and really accessible place for like kids, and it's just a wicked place for everyone. I'd recommend checking out Piha, Raglan, Mount Maunganui, the Coromandel, Gisborne. These are all like amazing surf towns with like other cool stuff to do around it. So I think just by being out in nature and in the outdoors lifestyle, like kids are just going to have an amazing time. So hopping back across the ditch is Australia. So like New Zealand, Australia is another amazing family surf destination. Again, I think the best way to enjoy it is like hiring a camper and heading along down the east coast. So between Brisbane and Sydney, you've just got amazing beaches. Again, it's like a really outdoor, family-friendly place. So there's lots of different campsites and pristine beaches, amazing waves. I mean, the waves speak for themselves, right? You've got like Byron Bay, Lennox Head, Gold Coast, Noosa. All of these places are super friendly, super safe, like subtropical, got sick waves. It's just epic, like, and there's parks and campsites everywhere. So yeah, if you're looking for that family-friendly outdoors place, you really can't beat Australia. Next up, we've got everybody's favorite island in Bali. Now, while Bali probably isn't as safe or as accessible as New Zealand and Australia, the people in Bali are just so friendly and very welcoming. I live in Bali at the moment and I see so many families and young kids, and they always look like they're having a sick time. The reason I think Bali's so good is because you can stay in luxury for half the price as you can anywhere else in the world. There's nowhere else on earth where you can live like this comfortably for this little cost. So you can stay in like an amazing villa, like with a pool, and have like this amazing space to hang out in. You know, you can jump on the bike, head off and get waves whilst family hangs out. Yeah, it's just like really easy for that. You know, you can have a place with a pool and the kids can splash around and hang out in. You've got amazing places to eat everywhere. And yeah, everything's pretty close. If you hang out in Canggu or Uluwatu, you've got everything like within like a 5-minute drive. So as well, you could head to other places in Indo, but I think generally speaking, Bali has the most infrastructure compared to other places. You know, you don't necessarily want to head over to like Sumbawa or even like Lombok and Sumatra. They're just kind of a bit more remote and third worldy, whereas Bali's a bit more set up and you've got amazing places to stay, amazing restaurants, it's a bit safer, it's a bit cleaner. I'll leave some links to some wicked like family friendly places down in the description that you can check out. Next up, we've got Portugal. Portugal is a wicked family friendly surf destination. If you're coming from the UK, it's like a 2-hour flight and you've got better weather, some of the best waves in the world. It's pretty low cost compared to a lot of other Western European countries. So that's something you can take advantage of. If you stay in places like Peniche, Ericeira, or down south in the Algarve, you can stay really close to the waves, whether it be walking distance or a short drive. You fly into Lisbon, hire a car and head out to any of these surf towns and you're gonna be getting epic waves, pretty good weather. Even in winter you can get sunny days where it's nice to sit out in a t-shirt, like nice restaurants, and it just like kind of like a laid back place where there's not necessarily like loads of things to see and do, but you just kind of go and enjoy your time there. Next up, we've got an absolute dream destination, I think, for anyone. So if you're coming from North America, I think Hawaii is probably one of the best places in terms of family friendliness. It's a safe state in the US. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, I've only been to Hawaii once, but when I got there, I just couldn't believe how stunning and how beautiful the beaches actually were. You know, it's kind of exactly how you imagine it in your head. It's like golden sand, palm trees hanging out onto the sand. While it's definitely not that cheap, and it's probably one of the most expensive surf trips you'll do, you can grab like an Airbnb or check out some of these places on booking.com and stay along that 7-mile miracle stretch and have access to all these waves and amazing beaches out the front. So if you want somewhere where you can just hang out on the beach, surf straight out the front, and be in one of the most amazing places in the world, I just think Hawaii is really hard to beat. Next up, we've got Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka is one of the most affordable surf trips you'll probably ever do. I went there recently, and because the waves are a lot of the time really close to where you stay, it's a pretty easy place to like hang out with the family. You know, you can stay right on the beach, hang out on the beach, have a nice hotel right on the sand, and get waves straight out the front. Check out places like Aragon Bay and Hikkaduwa. I found those two towns to be the best, most family friendly. Aragon Bay probably has the highest quality waves. In Sri Lanka, you've got some other cool things to do as well. You know, you've got like national parks, you've got amazing beaches, you've got wildlife, which you can see. There's like quite a lot of cool stuff to do with the kids. It's very safe. The people are very friendly, very welcoming, pretty good with kids. I saw a lot of families traveling in Sri Lanka. So I think it's a pretty safe place to go as well. The weather's amazing, and it's by far the cheapest destination we've included on this list. Yeah, you can eat for a few dollars a day. Like Bali, you can stay somewhere really nice for a fraction of what you can in North America or Europe. Last on our list, we've got the Maldives. Now, like Hawaii, the Maldives is an absolute dream destination. Now, you can stay at one of the luxury resorts, and you know, just being at that resort is a family-friendly place just because it's so luxurious. If you're on a slightly tighter budget, check out the island of Tulasudu. You can head there independently, and while it's a bit of a mission to get to, especially if you're coming from America or from Europe, You can stay at really nice accommodation at one of the most beautiful beaches you've ever seen. You've got a wave called Cokes right at the front. You've got Chickens, a short boat ride away, and then a few other breaks in the vicinity which you can take the boat to, which are all a pretty short drive. So the Maldives is just one of those dream destinations that staying on Tulusudu can be a wicked family-friendly one as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this breakdown, and I hope it's given you some inspiration and ideas for your next trips. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it. For now, it's goodbye from me, and I'll see you in the next episode.